It's good, y'all. So this is a follow up to my bisexuality video. Um, Want to talk about the factors that I think determine someone's sexuality. Right now, I want to start by saying I don't believe that anyone's sexuality is predetermined. I don't believe that you can be born straight or gay. I vaguely remember a study that mention how genetics can play a role in determining someone's sexuality, but again, I feel like that could be a factor, but not just you born this way or that way. Like it's all like it's all connected. It all plays a part. You feel me? Because there's so much that goes on in a person's life. You can't babies don't even have like hormones. You ain't hit puberty yet. They don't have sexual attraction like that. How you just gonna say that they're, one way or the other from birth, right? So, um, this is all based off my experience, right? I'm just relating it to how I think uh, it plays out for everybody else, right? So, start with my childhood. I lived with my mom my whole life. My dad, when I was younger, I'll be over his house sometimes. And my dad's always been a part of my life. I just never lived with him for an extended period of time, right? Um, and let's fast forward to my college life. I ended up being a sociology major, and during that time, we watched a lot of documentaries, went over a lot of studies. Sociology is really close to psychology, but it's not so much focused on the specific mental processes. It's more so it's focused on society. It's how people think, but in a relation to how it affects all of us, like large social constructs, sorry, and that type of shit, right? So some of what I'm saying comes from there too, right? Now, there's a philosopher. I'm not sure if he's not a philosopher. Yeah, I guess he's a social scientist, right? Um, and I believe it was Freud, and he came up with this theory that basically said someone's sexuality can be determined by their relationships with their father and mother. Now, I don't like this theory, but it does. It brings up some questions. I won't say it makes sense, but like it makes you think about like certain type of relationships, right? So, um, basically, the theory says that shoot, this has been a minute. I can't even get into specifics, but um, it would say that a male child, right, will try and depose his father because he wants to be with his mother sexually. Not That's not in like a conscious sense. It's more like a subconscious thing, right? Yeah, like I said, I don't like this theory, but there's other theories that have like come from it, basically saying like your relationship with your parents can determine the person that you like or your sexual attraction, right? So, and I say that because I lived with my mom my whole life, but my mother and I's relationship has not always been the best. Originally, when I was younger, shoot, I loved the hell out of my mom. I was a mama's boy, for real. I used to say like I don't never want to leave the house, or I ain't never gonna move out, type shit. Uh, but no, time goes on, shit changes, and my mother and I's relationship it's alright now, but a few months ago, maybe a year ago, This was before uh, this was before I was outed to my mom. I didn't come out. I was outed. Um, but this was before she knew, and I was generally depressed about. Well, I was depressed for a lot of reasons, but part of it was having to keep, you know, myself or a part of myself hidden from the majority of people who I loved in my life, right? Um, and you know, on top of that, my mom is. I love my mom, but she can be very controlling. She is not the most understanding person emotionally, and she can be very judgmental, right? A lot of the qualities that I reject in people in general, a lot of qualities that I try to stay away from in anyone. I see those qualities in someone else, get the fuck away from me, right? But this is my mother. I live with her. So for a long time, my mother and I's relationship was not the best. Like I said, it's gotten better now because I don't have to hide as much from her. Um, but it's nowhere near how it used to be. Like I said, I was a mama's boy. That is not the case no more. Far from it, right? Um, my dad, on the other hand, like I said, I haven't lived with him for an extended period of time, but he's always been in my life, and my dad has always been very understanding. He's always been um, like real cool. I like to say that if and when I have kids, right, my whole like guiding philosophy for raising them is like I don't care what you do with your life. I just want you to be happy. Obviously, I'm still gonna guide you. That don't mean go out here become a fucking prostitute and start doing drugs and all that. No, but I don't need you to be a millionaire. I don't need you to. As long as you're stable and healthy and happy. That's all I want. That's all I would want for my kids. But and I actually even say this in general. A lot of parents have expectations for their kids, and that's a problem for me because you can't you can't assign a role, you can't assign, you know, qualities to an unborn child. People be like, oh, I want this and this for my kids, and my son is gonna be this and that. I'm like, this is a whole ass person over here. They're separate from you. Yes, they're your kid, but they're their own person. I feel like parents don't really, you know, I feel like parents need to be reminded of that in general, right? Um, so that philosophy that I just mentioned, that's what my father has always been on, without actually saying it. Like he's always scolding me if I was in some trouble or you know doing shit that would not lead me on the best path. But in general, he doesn't care what I do. He just wants me to be happy, right? And I haven't told my father about my sexuality, but I feel like he already knows because he's like straight up asked me before. And it's been a minute since I had a girlfriend, um, or shit showed any interest in females um, to begin with. So yeah, I feel like he already knows, even though I haven't said it out loud. Um, so my relationship with my father is okay, even though we're not like super close. We've always been cool, right? My mother, not the best. And I say that to say that um, some of y'all are, I mean, it's like a general saying like a nigga is gonna marry a girl, or he's gonna find a girl that's got like quality similar to his mom, right? But that's not the case for me, right? I don't I don't want to be with someone that's anything like my mother. Again, I love my mom, but I cannot be with someone that's like her. I just can't do it. And even though I know that consciously, subconsciously, I feel like I probably assign those qualities to every woman, right? And I feel like that's what people do in general. I feel like that's where that phrase comes from. Like, you gonna find someone who's like your mama. Not if you don't fuck with your mama like that. So I feel like that in general like sums it up, right? Um, Obviously it's not the same for everybody. Um, I'm sure there's some niggas who love their moms more than anything, right? But even though I don't have a close relationship with, I would say, a more effeminate nigga, I could say that um, you know, effeminate men, they get those qualities from somewhere, right? Could be the auntie, could be their sister, most likely it's their mom, right? So maybe on the flip side of that, right, you would take on a lot of qualities from your mom, including her attraction to men. You feel me? Like, so yeah, yeah. That's how I think about that shit. Again, these are just theories, but shit, I wouldn't be telling y'all if I didn't think I was right. So I think that's it. But yeah, y'all comment, subscribe, all that. Let me know what y'all think about these theories, and let me know. I mean, yeah, let me know if y'all got theories of your own, cause I like to have that little back and forth. I like other people's input. It helps my understanding. You feel me?